If you own the copyright to old family photos, which could include shots of people, places, landscapes, all sorts of different things, they can provide a great addition to your stock library because there is a demand for older photographs of different things. One of the problems with old photographs like this is that they are typically only held in print form, and very few people still have the negatives. So you have to scan or photograph the print and then bring it into Photoshop to repair it. And there can be quite a lot of damage that can take a long time to fix. But luckily in Photoshop there is an AI-powered neural filter which will do most of the hard work for you. It doesn't do everything, and it works better typically with larger prints where the subject is larger in the frame. This shot here was actually quite a small print, and each person occupies a very small part of it, but it will show you how well it can work. So what you need to do is just go to Filter and then Neural Filters. And then when the dialog opens up, if you haven't already downloaded the neural filter that you need, just click on the download icon or the download button here, and it will download it for you, and then it will come available. So when you've chosen the neural filter that you'd like to use, just click the on switch. So I've gone for photo restoration, obviously. That will open up all the controls for you. So by default, photo enhancement is set to 50, and this is typically a good setting because it just boosts the contrast and makes the image look a bit brighter. And then the other two main controls we have are enhance face and scratch reduction. So below you can expand the adjustments where you have noise reduction, color noise reduction, halftone, artifacts reduction, and JPEG artifacts reduction. And it's very uncommon that you'll need to use these. One thing to watch out for is that the noise reduction does make the images quite waxy and diminishes detail. So it's generally better left alone. So what I'm going to do here is just take the scratch reduction up to 40, and it takes anywhere between a minute or 2 minutes for that to process. You just need to have a play around and see which settings work best for the image you're working on. So there, it's done a really nice job of removing most of the damage. There is a small scratch there, but that can be manually fixed, and it's much quicker repairing images this way than doing it 100% manually. So if you have an image like this one where there are faces and people in the shot, the enhance face slider is a great way to add clarity to the faces in the image. And what you might have noticed at the beginning is that all of the faces had a square around them. So Photoshop has identified that there are 5 key faces in this photograph. And I'm just going to take enhance face up to 30, and then we can watch to see how it improves the image. So that's quite a low setting because just like the noise reduction, if you push it too far, it makes things look really fake and it ultimately diminishes the overall image. So once all done, you can choose your output options and they will expand outside of my screen, but you have to a new layer, the current layer, so it will paste everything onto your existing layer, but it's always best to do it to a new layer mask, a smart filter, or a new document. But I'm going to go for new layer, and then when I hit OK, that creates that new layer for me, and you can just see how in a few minutes I can essentially fix most of the problems in an old photo.